How are you doing today, dude?
Oh my god, I just clipped.
Yeah.
Jesus
That's gonna be.
Christ. All right.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
All right. Well, I got up like an hour ago, so nothing's really happened. I had some fucked up dreams last night.
Let's get into it, dude.
So, have you ever seen... Okay, first of all, have you ever seen the Celebrity Jeopardy on SNL? It was like one of the first ones with Tom Cruise.
Okay.
It was Ben Stiller as Tom Cruise.
Oh.
And like,
is Will Ferrell doing the Alex Trebek? Or
yeah,
is okay? Yeah.
like always.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, there's some. I don't know.
Well, the ones
Kenan
that Kenan Thompson does.
Yeah.
That's
those are Black
Jeopardy.
Jeopardy. I know.
Yeah. Know your stuff, man.
I know SNL. I grew up on it, dude. Jeez. But I mean, like, also other people. I mean, like, when they have guests on, I think like there was one where another person did it. But honestly,
anyway,
I don't remember.
So you know how Tom Cruise was portrayed like so accurately, like he's such a crazy whack job.
Yeah, like, and that's all that Scientology too. I mean, yeah.
Well, I had a dream last night that I was like at a party with Tom Cruise. I was the life of the party.
Oh, really?
I was making everyone laugh.
That's insane.
I was at a pedestal, and
I'll be home
at the party.
Or that's Spectacle.
Was that Faith No More?
Very close. That was actually Mr. Bungle.
Okay,
but that was yeah, it's Mike Patton still. So
well, Tom Cruise was at the party. And he was really enjoying, hanging around with me. I'm like, man, I'm such a huge fan of you.
You're an enjoyable
guy. And he was
guy.
like, thank you, man. He was like, man, I'm just like, man,
you're
it's
like,
so great to hang out with you.
You're like, you're really an inspiration for us gays, for us other closeted gays.
Oh yeah. I forgot about Tom Cruise being so obviously like flamboyantly homosexual.
I know, even South
like
Park
you just see it, you see it in him, and he's so gay that you kind of forget like, oh yeah, he's a person too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, in every single action movie that he does, which I mean, he just does action, right? In every movie that he does, why he runs so much is because he's actually running from his gay thoughts.
Mm-hmm. Well,
yeah. Oh, by the way, I totally forgot to just mention that, like, everyone can finally see our faces if they're watching it on YouTube.
Yeah.
On, what should we what should we call it again?
What, our YouTube channel?
Yeah.
I don't know. Can we say this, like, after the podcast? Because no one cares.
Well, I mean, like, I have to say it so they know what to look up.
They can find it. They already want to dill our holes anyway. They can work their around. I mean, the internet.
They can just look up Band Therapy 12. I think this is Band Therapy 12. Not sure, but
I think so. All of our other band therapies are on Spotify.
Yes, and also iTunes or Apple Music. What's the Anchor? I think Google Podcasts as well. I think it is on iTunes, but I might be mistaken. But everyone uses Spotify, so I mean, like, just look it up on there.
So that's where I listen to it too, because I listen to our podcast at work when I'm shitting on my coworkers, and I'm like right around them, and little do they know I'm listening to a podcast about them and about how retarded they are.
Is it because you don't want to pull a Bobby Lee and say the same story like every episode?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I would never do that. Anyway, Tom Cruise took my compliment as an insult. And he goes, "You motherfuckers, you guys don't think I'm the best of the party? Come on, man." And he flies over to the house that was we were in the backyard of a house. He goes in there. I have to hide from him because he goes apeshit and starts beating people up, and the lights go out. And so I was in this cage, and I was hiding under a blanket, and I couldn't see anything because I was afraid that he was going to come in and beat me.
Do you think it's because of the Tom Cruise story that just came out about how he was bossing everyone out, like, around on the set? I mean, that's got to be it. That's why he was on your conscience, right? Like, I mean, like, and also, like, every podcast has talked about that specific incident.
You're cutting out. I can't really hear you.
Every single podcast has talked about the Tom Cruise incident.
Hey.
Like, Bad Friends did, I think, Two Bears.
Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Are you okay? Are you...
Tozzi?
Yes, I'm here. Okay. You doing good?
Okay, okay, now...
Hello? Yeah.
Oh, no.
How are you doing?
Cutting out really bad.
I'm cutting out? This is going to be a really good podcast, then.
It's going to be really good. Okay.
Just get it.
I didn't hear anything you said for the past, minute.
I don't care. You'll listen to it on the podcast. Let's go. Your dream.
Anyway, so Tom Cruise was...
Yeah.
Anyway, at one point, I go through the entire night, and he isn't there, all right?
Mm-hmm.
And the lights finally come back on, and he isn't anywhere to be found in the house. And it was this whole big mystery of, well, where did Tom Cruise go? And we never found him. You know, I've had this week a lot of, dreams about, celebrities beating me into submission. Are you getting into that? Where...
Is that your thing?
What?
Is that your thing? Are you getting into it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I had a dream that I was at this military camp for bad boys.
I'm a bad boy. Actually, I'm wearing my Biggie shirt right now. Ready to die.
You are.
Yes, I'm ready.
I'm under my jacket because I'm in my basement right now, and it's fucking cold as shit.
Is that a Hazard shirt?
Conditioning down here.
Haken. Oh my god, that's so awesome. We actually, for the fans of the show, which are the one fan and us, we actually saw Haken together, and that was one of the greatest concerts I've been to. I've been to a few, you know what I'm saying? I saw in one night Cannibal Corpse and Mon Amarth, Lamb of God, which I do not like that much, and I saw Slayer. That's a crazy night. I saw Tim and Eric live, dude. But no, Haken was...
I know.
Haken was a very close and personal thing, because we saw him at...
this is cutting out so bad.
We saw him at the Beachland Ballroom. Right? I don't know. We're doing good.
Oh, no, okay, there we go.
Okay. Yeah.
It's stopping.
Yeah.
And it's freezing on your face, and then it would speed up to try catch up with you. All right. Anyway.
All right. Well,
I think it's doing better now.
Just get better Wi-Fi, dude. Jeez. This is why I'm doing it at my brother's house.
That's my fucking problem.
Yeah. This is why I'm doing it at my brother's house, is because, the Wi-Fi is good here, because there's nothing taking up the Wi-Fi. You have a whole family. I have a whole family at my house, and Wi-Fi's got to be taken up, so it's just better. You know what I'm saying?
So the
yeah.
The guy who ran the military camp was Gordon Ramsay. Gordon Ramsay was this Navy SEAL guy who basically took in children who were misbehaving. He lived in a shack in the middle of nowhere, and if you tried to run from him, he would find a way to get you, because he was really good like that. And the whole entire island that he was around was very hard to get out of, and so he would find you, and he would take 6 belts and beat you.
Was it
if he found you?
Was it a Hig Zyle type thing, if you know what I mean?
A little bit, yeah.
I see.
So yeah, and so I had to always cower in fear, and I took I became first person of all of the kids who went there, and they all tried to escape at one point because they just couldn't handle the beatings anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And so they would run, and it would be kind of like animalistic of like trying to escape no matter what. It doesn't matter if you die, because it would at least be better than living with him. So yeah, this has all happened like the past 2 nights, just like in a row. Random celebrities pop into my head and commit horrible acts against me.
That's really cool. I don't think I've had a lot of dreams lately. I had a lot of dreams, if you know what I'm saying.
You have what dreams?
I did for like, I have, but I did for like, I don't know, a couple of days straight, actually. Like maybe a month or two ago.
I've never had a wet dream in my life.
Really? That fascinates me, because it's like it's on your mind constantly. I feel like you're more of a sexual person than I am, mostly because I'm straight and you're gay. So it's
I
like
don't
on
think
your
that.
mind. I don't know.
I think it's because I jack off so much that like my brain doesn't have to think about it while I'm sleeping. You know?
Right. Can we?
The closest I've ever gotten to having a wet dream was when I had a dream that I was pissing in the toilet, and I went to flush the toilet, and it kept swirling and swirling, and it never like completely went down. And I woke up, and I legitimately pissed myself, and that was like one of the only times in my life that I actually pissed myself. And so I had to like, it was like 3 in the morning. I was like 8 years. Oh, actually no, I was like 14. So like.
That's insane.
You know, cool guy.
You know, I had a dream when I was really little, like still like sleeping in my mom's bed little. And I had a dream where it was like an underground tunnel, like cars, but it was like going in like a swirly fashion, like down. And then this tunnel, it was like a slip and slide kind of thing, but like on a road, and it was like really cold, but I got in the water, and then in my dream I just started peeing, and then I remember waking up and the bed was like, I don't think the bed was soaked.
You pissed in your mom's bed?
Yes. I don't know if she knew about it, but yes, I
Did she ever find out, or has she been sleeping in a piss bed?
I don't know.
For several years now.
She probably definitely cleaned it. Probably not, actually. You know, she was like, I miss my son's juices. But, you know, I don't know. Also, like, I had a dream where...
Awful.
Same thing. Sleeping in my mom's bed. Okay? And I did pee again. But I had a dream where I was, like, standing in a stall. No, it was just like in a urinal, and I think maybe Austin was with me, or something, but I peed in the urinal in my dream, and then I also peed in real life, so.
That's really cool. I've never woken up with morning wood. Have you?
What?
I never have.
I wake up with morning wood every day of my life.
I mean, like, I wake up.
How do you not do that?
Do you know what? Well, the thing is that I think I wake up and I'm like, do you know what? I should jack off. But it's never like I wake up and I'm already hard. Like, that's never happened to me.
Do you get pee boners? I mean, everyone does.
Yeah.
Because that's constant.
There's a lot. Yeah, it's like, you know, a lot of pressure. But maybe it's because I usually pee before I go to bed, so like there's not a lot of pressure build up there.
But no, that's it. I forget the exact science, but I mean, like, when you're going to bed, or like when you're asleep, I think it's really just a relaxation thing that you get boners. when you sleep.
I think it might also be because I'm a soy boy cuck, and
right,
I don't have a lot of testosterone in me, and
that's true.
I like it when my wife pegs me.
Right. I grew up with most the females being the dominant ones, in my household. Which, with my sister and my mom, I didn't have a father figure or like a male role model in my everyday household. So I grew up probably why I'm also kind of a feminist. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But like I'm just used to women and stuff, and I feel like I feel like I have more testosterone than you do. You know, I trust me, girl. I have estrogen up the wazoo, but I mean, like, my testosterone just overpowers it. You know what I'm saying?
Testosterone?
Like testosterone, and I don't know. I still get periods and everything, but it comes out my peckerwood, my swimsuit area, my wick.
Speaking of pissing and dominatrixes, back when I was a little kid, my mom, like when I did something bad, she would lock me in my room for hours on end. And even during the night, like I would constantly try to go, like we used to live in like a bungalow. So like my parents' bedroom was upstairs, which used to be an attic, just like your house. And so I would always like try to go upstairs and like sleep in my parents' bed. And so it got so bad, like, my mom would lock me in my room, and she wouldn't even let me, like, go, like, during the night, she wouldn't let me out of my room to go pee.
That's really weird. See, Yeah, go ahead, I'm sorry.
It would get so bad that I would just piss in the air vent. Because, like, our old house... It was so old that like the air vents weren't like those like long pieces of like vents that are kind of like small. The air vents that were in the rooms were like this big, and they took up a sizable amount of the wall, and I could just like take like a little pin and rip it off of the wall, and then I would piss in the air vent. And later on, that was the room that my grandfather slept in, and the room that he died in. So I wonder if it was the ammonia from my piss that killed him. Anyway.
I really hope it is. That's a lasting effect, and I just want you to know that your grandfather's death was, it was because of you. But I mean, like, I did the same thing. Nobody locked me up there, and it was just this year, like, I really need to pee kind of thing, and I don't want to go downstairs because I'm upstairs with my brother, and so I basically, I just took a bottle just like this one or something, and then I peed in it, and I forgot to take my pee down, and my mom saw it. And I'm not sure if you've heard the story or remember this, but she poured urine on my head there. And then she went downstairs and then hosed me off, like the dog that I am. And it was warm water for a while, and then she changed it to cold, because, she was just in the moment, And she's like, I really hate my son. That's really cool. Yeah, it is really cool.
I told my coworkers about the time, the time that I was born. I told them about how I was both born naturally and, like, unnaturally.
C-section?
Because it is actually true that my mom tried to have a natural birth, and I went out feet first, and my head got stuck.
Yeah.
And it was cutting off circulation to my neck, and it would have killed both my mom and I if they wouldn't have cut me out, like in a C-section, to pull me out. But while I was telling the story, I finally had the realization that like they must have had to push me back in.
Yeah.
And then pull me out. Like that never occurred to me that they had to like I had to like go back into my mom's body. And then pull out again.
Yeah.
I've been telling people this forever that like I spent the first 10 minutes was neck deep in pussy, but like
but like that's
I
your
finally
mom,
told
bro.
this to my coworkers were like, "Man, that's your mom. Why are you talking about that? That's your mom?" And I'm like, I never thought about that before. I am talking about my mom.
But that's the whole thing, a part of the joke. Like they just don't get comedy. You know, you and I have a very specific we have a very specific like sense of humor. And I mean, if they can't get on
it's very high level comedy.
Yeah, we got that.
Yeah.
We got that we're on another level of comedy, you know what I'm saying? Like we're far above Christina P. and Tommy and Tommy Buns. We're far above Chris DeStefano and Giannis Pappas. We're far above Andrew Santino and Bobby Lee. We're far above everyone, you know what I'm saying?
Don't even get me started on Joe Rogan.
Or Tim Dillon. Yeah. I mean, Tim Dillon is, he's on another level, but guess who's on another level above him?
Us.
We are, baby. I think we're on top.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was just talking, to my driving instructor, and I was like, I love podcasting. You know what I'm saying? I love listening to podcasts.
I didn't hear any of that.
Huh?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But I was like...
You said you love listening to podcasts?
Yeah. And then she was like, oh, like Joe Rogan? And I really wanted to murder her there. But I mean, like, I don't know what about it. You know what I'm saying? Joe Rogan he's way down here, you know? He's the worst of all the podcasts.
I know it's like the ultimate sin for a podcast to like shit on Joe Rogan because they're like, well, if it wasn't for Joe Rogan, then you guys wouldn't be here. And it's like, that doesn't mean he's...
Not really, though.
I've never really liked him. I've just
Neither
found
have
him
I.
to be extraordinarily pretentious.
I like the Sober October episodes. I like the Bob Lazar one. That was really cool. I liked I don't know, some of the crazier stuff, that he has done. What was that?
I just realized that one of my guitar pedals is still on, and I had to turn it off.
What was it? Please tell me it's a Metal Zone with your butterscotch telly.
I don't have a Metal Zone, which I don't know why I don't.
That's sad.
It's
Everyone
like
does.
This shitty, like very cheap sustain pedal that my uncle got me a couple years ago.
Nah.
But man, I gotta say, I'm so glad that his podcast is now only on Spotify, so I don't have to like get notifications.
Yeah, I know.
On YouTube anymore, because most of the time when I like click on Joe Rogan videos on YouTube, I just want to see how many dislikes there are.
Yeah.
And then I click off, and then YouTube thinks that I'm like Joe Rogan fan, and so they just constantly give me videos of like Navy SEALs on Joe Rogan being dumb cunts, you know?
Yeah. I mean, like, when you tell people that you're into podcasting and you love podcasts, they, like, the first thing that comes to mind is Joe Rogan. And, like, if you're, like, an experienced podcaster, you know that, like, you're probably not a fan of Joe Rogan. I'm just going to say that.
No, I'm not. Oh, well, yeah. If you're experienced like us, you listen to real good shit like Your Mom's House.
Yeah, or like, your first podcast was Your Mom's House that I got you on. My first podcast was What Say You with Sal Volcano, which Hey Babe is another great podcast. And Q, and Brian Quinn, excuse me, and then on from there, I listened to the whole complete series of My Brother, and Me, and then I moved on to Your Mom's House and different other podcasts from there. But yeah, what was your experience like? Where are you in the podcasting biz, bruh?
Well,
I just hit my mic a lot, so I'm sorry.
I wasn't that into podcasts until YMH, and since I've started working, like in the actual job,
podcasts are
like
a saver.
Yeah, because if I listen to music while I'm working, then I'll just get distracted and want to listen to music. Yeah. So that's why I listen to podcasts. But currently, literally I'm so glad that there's different podcasts on YMH because that's pretty much all I listen to.
Yeah.
Because like I've only really been into podcasts for like 6 months. Mm-hmm. I mean, I always enjoyed like radio and stuff, like talk shows and stuff like that, but it wasn't like something that I was like constantly listening to.
Yeah.
So there's, like all the stuff that I've listened to a couple Tiger Belly episodes. I've listened to a couple of like I don't know. I gotta start listening to more podcasts. Mm-hmm. Some of the other ones I've started listening to like more serious stuff of like political stuff.
Yeah, I hate that. I'm strictly comedy guy.
Because sometimes I'm like, I want to know what's going on in the world from someone who's angry, like more angry than I am, and actually knows what's going on. And sometimes that's satisfying. Because I think it's the same thing with me for, like, movies. Like, I don't remember the last time I've sat down and watched a movie, but I love watching movie reviews.
I'm a big movie guy, dude. You just said that to a big movie guy.
I hate watching people love a movie and talk about how much they love the movie. I don't listen to a movie review unless someone, like, has a severe carnal disdain for the movie. That's all I listen to is people who hate. I love listening to people just shit on things.
Have you watched On Cinema at the Cinema with Tim Heidecker and Greg Turkington?
I have not.
Because I feel like you would like it. Greg Turkington, have you ever heard of Neil Hamburger?
No.
He's a really popular stand-up comedian. But he was even on the Pick of Destiny movie. He was the guy with all the drinks. He was there. So that's my life. But no, that's actually Greg Turkington. All right, and he, he's on Cinema. He's like the movie guy, right? And he explains it all. And then Tim is the guy who gets angry at Greg, and it creates a really good relationship. And it's just really funny, and I
should listen.
Come on,
yeah.
I'm a.
Oh, dude,
Greg
have you ever listened to Come Town?
Harmontown?
No, Come Town.
No, I have not.
It's a fantastic, cynical podcast. I can't remember the names of the guys, but there's a couple stand-up comedians who do it, and it's really funny, and it's mostly I can't find their podcast anywhere. It's CUMTOWN.
I know how to spell. Okay.
I can't find their podcast anywhere, but I just like watch clips on YouTube.
Okay.
But,
I've heard of Nick Mullen.
Yeah.
And maybe some of these other people. Yeah. I might check that out then. How many episodes are... Actually, I'm already on it. I could just look at it.
There's like over 300 episodes, I think. Crap, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So, if you're listening on YouTube for the first time, I work at a restaurant, and I have an emo chef that I work with. Mm-hmm. And he usually listens to emo rap while we're getting packed up at the end of the night, and we're kind of just like wrapping things up and cleaning things.
Yeah.
And he just takes like a bucket and puts his phone inside the bucket so that like everyone can hear it. And so he usually plays like stuff like Lil Peep and X. and like other stuff like that. But last night he was listening to Bring Me the Horizon, and was also playing like really like grindcore stuff like that.
Radiohead.
No, not like really like 7-string I don't know, Mixolydian mode to the third sharp music. And I was like, have you ever? Yeah, like he was listening to some really heavy stuff.
Do you mean like Napalm Death grindcore, or do you mean like
I wouldn't go that far, but like I'm talking about like guys who like a heavier Limp Bizkit. Like if Limp Bizkit had 9-string guitars, that's what he was listening to.
Well, do you mean like
fast gent? I mean like like yeah, like fast gent. Yeah, sure. Whatever. I don't know. I am not a savant. I don't know all the different technicalities of all of the genres.
Guess what?
But
I do.
What?
But I do. True. Can I get a suit? I'm gonna quote Wu-Tang till I die.
I was thinking of like, in my very limited knowledge of like death metal and like fast metal, because I truly
all comes from
only
me,
listen. I love progressive metal and I love progressive rock, and I've always have.
Me too, man.
But
I'm diverse in my music tastes.
Yeah. And I was thinking, I'm like, what band? I was like, have you ever listened to Strapping Young Lad?
That's a good one. And I
played Oh My Fucking God for him, and I was blasting it.
Gene Hoglan
in the
is
kitchen.
The man.
Yeah. And he liked it a lot. So we might turn Emo Chef into
Metal Chef.
Metal Chef.
Can you, if he likes
soon.
Gene Hoglan, then you might want to, I mean, like, people also love Death Clock. One of my favorite shows, Metalocalypse. Get him maybe into Death Clock, and then when he likes that, really hit him hard with Death. Alright? Hit him really hard with Death, okay? And then when he likes that, turn him on to thrash by then showing him another Gene Hoglan band, Dark Angel, okay? That's some of the sickest riffage of all time, okay? And then once you have that in place, show him a little softer vocals than that. Maybe show him Forbidden Violence, same kind of like late 80s thrash, okay? And once that happens, show him Toxic with a K, okay? And that's one of my favorite bands.
Kind of sounds like you've done this before. And you're like the Jehovah's Witness of Mel, like.
See, I just want
trying to get people to join.
I know, and I kind of tried that with you, but you never really took to it. So, maybe you could check out all of those bands. I've been trying to get you into like more thrash because you're in a thrash band, you know that, bro. And
I know. I tried listening the last night at work, which was Wednesday. I started listening to Spiritual Healing, and
that's one of my favorite albums of all time, dude.
I know you did. So, yeah. See, I was just trying to think of like.
But yeah, that's death metal, bro.
Trying to like work on playing that fast.
Sorry.
I also.
Great opening.
I've gotten into the mood of listening to music that you constantly talk about.
Yes.
So I've also listened to 36 Chambers.
You're getting in that Wu-Tang, dude.
Yeah.
Try Iron Flag as well.
Okay.
All the other albums are complete garbage compared to 36 Chambers because that energy level is not present on any of the other ones. Okay. But the W is good, Wu-Tang Forever is great. I really like Iron Flag, if I'm going to be completely honest. But yeah, and then all the other ones are just, basically.
Speaking of sad boys that I work with, one of our servers came in on Wednesday like 2 hours late and was blasted drunk.
Yeah.
And he was like, he could barely walk, he could barely speak. He just brought in a couple of like comic books and sat down and started reading.
What were they? I'm a comic guy. What were they?
They were like Deadpool and like...
I'm a big fan of Deadpool.
Other like Marvel comics and stuff like that.
But was it like Brian Posehnier's Deadpool or?
I have no idea. I don't know anything about superheroes, or comic books.
Brian Posehn, good comedian, bro.
Basically, the emo chef and one of my managers had to like basically like carry him out of the building because he could barely walk.
Yeah.
And my manager asked the emo chef to like drive him home because this dude was so drunk, but he drove to work.
I mean, you're familiar with that, but...
And now, the emo chef spent 6 months last year in jail because of a DUI. Yeah. All right?
I got a DUI,
baby. So if there's anyone who's experienced in driving drunk, it's emo chef.
Mm-hmm. And my dad.
Yeah. But like the emo chef was like, nah, man, I'm not taking you home for shit. You gotta get yourself better, man. You're gonna be fine. So he drives home.
Mm-hmm.
Then like 2 hours later, like an hour before we close, he comes in and was like completely fine. And he was like, hey guys, let's go and whatever. So I thought that was pretty cool. Dude, everyone lately since our restaurant has been doing so poorly right now.
Yeah.
But I'm so glad. Like it's actually been doing way better than like other small businesses.
Right.
Because we're actually still open, you know, and I'm really glad about that. But still, it hasn't really been that good. And so like everyone I work with is drunk beyond... I mean, I'm exaggerating. I don't want to give them a bad name, but everyone is like, man, just want to go home and get fucking blasted, man. Shit. I'm like, it's not that bad. Come on, guys. It's just gonna be okay. I mean, I'm the one who put a liter of tonic in my drink last week.
Yeah.
But like. Everyone's like, come on, man. Yeah. I just want to go home, man. Oh, God!
Well, first of all, I work retail. So, I mean, like, and I work with a group of cool people who I have a lot of stuff, in common with. So, I feel really connected to all those people, whether it be, like, music or video games. Video games is a big thing. Or just like sometimes comics, some podcasts, like movies, all that. But I don't know. I feel like I have a better job than you. You know what I'm
saying? I mean, for someone like me who loves to be alone, it really works well for me.
Me too. But I mean, like, I don't know. Being in the same environment with like people, sometimes with good senses of humor. Because there's dead bodies buried underneath the exchange. Things just fall randomly, right? And so there was this one thing. It was a Kiss little figurine, okay? And then I brought it up to Rob, and I'm like, at least it's Kiss, right? And he's like, yeah, dude. But the people who actually like picked it up and stuff, and they were like, hey, this just fell. I went back to them, and I was like, I'm sorry, that's actually going to be $1,000 fine. And then he was like, oh, no, are you kidding me? And then I'm like, yeah, sorry, you're going to have to pay it up front, and it's going to be in cash. And then he, like, somehow, like, we just carried on the conversation, and then he was like, well, can I pay you in a child? And then I'm like, well, see, since we're off the gold standard, I'm not quite sure. But I mean, like, I'm not too sure. I'm gonna have to check with my manager about that one. And then he was like,
"Now that is some poor white people shit."
and then he asked me if like fatness would drive up the price, and I was like, absolutely. You're definitely gonna get more. You're definitely gonna give us more if you get a fat kid. So yeah. Then he gave us a little fat kid, right? And it was all set off. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. Fed him goo. That's what we call him. 4 eyes. Fatty needs his French fries. He had glasses, by the way. So.
I remember the days of when I was so fat that my nipples were more inverted than my belly button. Like they were more deep than my belly button.
Yeah. I mean, my brother has inverted nipples. I'm not too sure if you do, but I mean, like it might be there.
I mean, hold on.
Yeah.
Now that we have a camera. Hold on.
Dude.
They're more like hair. Do you see these long strands of hair that are coming off my nipple?
No, I don't. But I mean, I've seen your nipples in real life. It's there.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
I really hope that goes on some sort of website. I mean,
we should use that as the thumbnail.
Yeah, why not? What? Okay, so we gotta end this.
Yeah, it's we're at 41 minutes.
I mean, it's been a pleasure. We really need to do this more. I think this reinvigorated our podcast. But
yeah,
I've had a great time doing this. You guys can check it out.
I hope you all enjoyed me eating my Little Caesars.
Yeah, our thing is we're probably just gonna rename it to Deepest Cuts Network. Shall we?
Sure, yeah.
Alright, also, we're gonna have an album out, probably in February, under Deepest Cuts.
It's gonna be some hot shit.
It's gonna be a rap album. By the way, you still need to record a skit on it.
Okay.
But besides that, we have it done. And I have everything recorded. It sounds really good. It's some of the illest music you're ever gonna hear. So, we've
really
produced
good.
straight hits. It's better than Illmatic.
Most of the time, I sincerely think that we produce hot garbage. But this time, I really tried to make an effort.
Yeah.
I tried to make an effort, and I'm really proud of the lyrics that I came up with in the song that I was featured in.
Yeah.
And whatever else I was featured in on the album. I don't know what all entails on the album, but
I'll tell you afterwards.
Yeah. Okay.
But no, I think we should do more rap albums because this one was a straight hit. I borrowed from Biggie because his flow is lit.
Mm-hmm.
That's a rhyme on the album.
Yeah.
One of my lines. But anyway, yeah, this has been a pleasure. The album's gonna be super dope. Then I want to make another one that's kind of I have some ideas for it. It's gonna be like a Mr. Bungle type,
sweet
crazy concoction of music. So we're gonna go super alternative. For this next one after the rap one. I really do not want to spend any time on a new Fatal Union record. So I mean, and this is fun. I legitimately have fun with Deepest Cuts, and it's probably the music that's actually gonna go somewhere, or at least hopefully.
Yeah, I do.
I think we should do some Deepest Cuts live shows. Let's do our rap lives. I mean, let's do our raps live, because
that's actually a good idea.
That's literally those are the only songs that we can really perform live. Because all of our stuff has unless we get other people to do our stuff. and I've forgotten most of our songs that we've created. So I mean, like, memorizing lines isn't that hard, And I can rap all this stuff I rapped it. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
like I can produce it. But yeah. This has been fun. Yeah, we got stuff coming out. You wanna log us off, bro? Or
yeah. So this has been episode 12.
I think so. Yes.
Yeah, episode 12 or 240 of the Pest Cuts podcast.
Yeah.
Band therapy.
Mhm.
It's not really band therapy anymore. It's just
we're a band.
I wish we had therapy.
Yeah.
So yeah, bye. You guys suck.